definitely want to welcome Ava and Jamir to the floor to share your stories. So welcome. I think are you guys unmuted yet?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah. All right. Wonderful.
Great. So first, I just want to thank you, Quentin, so much for having us and for organizing this whole thing. We kind of put this together really quickly, and I'm super impressed with your work. And thank you all for sharing your stories. I feel really privileged to be able to be a part of these conversations, especially during 2020. As we all know, there's just so much going on in the world, and I think being able to have these conversations and relate to one another and hear each other's stories is really impactful, especially as someone that works in organizing. I wanted to give a shout out to the fact that it is about to be June, which is Pride Month. And as you all know, COVID has kind of changed the way that people are celebrating Pride this year. Typically there are huge festivals and parades during the summer. The Philly Pride Parade is a huge place for community gathering, and a lot of people look forward to it and make connections there. So this year, a slightly less attractive proposal, but this is the year to queer the census. I'm really encouraging folks to take this opportunity to stand up and be counted in 2020 as an expression of your pride and taking pride in your community and showing that you live in Philly and you count in Philly. And especially in 2020, it's going to be really important for LGBTQ+ communities that we get the resources that we need to support those individuals, especially because members of the LGBTQ+ community disproportionately rely on services and programs like food stamps, Medicaid, support for homelessness, and so many other programs, and just our city services that we all use every day. So on the census form, there is no option to declare your sexual orientation. However, it's still really important that members of the community make sure that they get counted this year. There is the opportunity for same-sex couples to indicate that they are their relationship in the same household. So that's also really important data and that data will be critical to receiving the representation and the funding for those programs that I mentioned before. So yeah, during June, the month of Pride Month, I just want to encourage everybody to use the hashtag #QueerTheCensus, #Philly, hashtag Philly Counts, and hashtag 2020 Census, and encourage your friends and family members who may or may not be a part of that community to participate in the census as well. And I want to hand the mic over to my colleague, Jamir.
All right, thank you so much, Ava. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jamir Connelly, and I'm an organizing fellow with Philly Counts. And in reference to the 2020 census, I feel like as the owner of a Black body, I've always been hyper aware of what it means to count and what it means to be represented now. And in this day and age, I also feel like I know what it means to be hyper visible. And I believe that in cities with like large numbers of historically undercounted individuals, it is imperative that we utilize initiatives like the 2020 census to help make sure that we get the resources that we need to help sustain ourselves. And in reference to a story, one came to mind in reference when I was in college. So I had went to a predominantly white institution, and like most people, I had a few jobs on campus. So when I was working, a lot of times I worked with like cleaning up, more janitorial stuff like that. But a lot of times there would be families that would come in for tours, and they would sometimes talk to us, and they would say, "Oh my God, like, yeah, you get to work at Lehigh. This is so cool. You get to do this, you get to do that." And one time, one of the families had stopped me and they said, "Wow, don't you wish that you got a chance to go to Lehigh University? That's my alma mater." And I was confused. I'm like, I wish I had a chance to go here. But then I realized that just by my visage, just by walking around as the owner of a Black body, people felt like I didn't belong. So saying all that to say, after that moment, I realized that it was imperative that I did make myself be seen. I tried to join as many clubs as I could. I tried to even join student council because I wanted to make sure that for the next generation of Black students at Lehigh, that they knew that there was people on campus that looked like them, and people on campus that were actively fighting for their needs and making sure that their ideas and that their opinions were being heard. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to share. Thank you much for this opportunity.